This is Apba Brian, and I want to say thank you for joining us today for Game 2 of the St. Louis-Chicago baseball rivalry. Game 1 was taken yesterday by the St. Louis, the 26 Cardinals beating the 69 Chicago Cubs 4-3. Today we have the 2014 St. Louis Cardinals coming to Wrigley Field to play the 1929 Chicago Cubs. And let's meet the stars of today's game. Lance Lynn will be on the mound for St. Louis. Matt Adams, Matt Carpenter, Matt Holliday, Yadier Molina, Adam Rainwhite. For the Chicago Cubs, Rogers Hornsby, Hack Wilson, Riggs Stevenson, Kai Kyler, Charlie Grimm, and Guy Bush. Here are the starting lineups for today's game. First for St. Louis, John Jay will be in center field, Matt Carpenter at third base, Matt Adams at first base. Matt Holliday will bat cleanup and play left field. Yadier Molina will catch. Johnny Peralta, the shortstop. Colton Wong, the second baseman, Randall Grichuk in right field, and Lance Lynn, grade B, with a Y modifier pitcher, will be using the basic boards today. And both teams will be using fielding column 1. Here's the lineups for the Chicago Cubs. Kiki Kyler will be in center field. Woody English at shortstop. Rogers Hornsby, the second baseman. Hack Wilson will be in left field. Riggs Stevenson in right field. Charlie Grimm, first base. Zach Taylor, catcher. Norm McMillan at third base. And Pat Malone is the starting pitcher with a grade B and the X modifier. Correction, Kyler's in right field, and Wilson's in center field, with Stevenson in left field. All right, we're ready for the first pitch. And here is John Jay. John Jay did some time with the Royals, and I liked watching him. He's one of my favorite players. He's such a consistent hitter. Here's a pitch to John Jay. 51 is an 8 on grade B. That's going to be a fly out the center field for the first out. Matt Carpenter. He flies out to the left fielder, Riggs Stevenson, for the second out. And Big City Matt Adams comes to bat. Swinging from the left side, he rolls a 35. And that is going to be a base hit for Matt Carpenter. And the Cardinals will have a man on. For Matt Holliday. Here's the pitch to Holliday. 42 is a 40. Okay, Matt Carpenter is thrown out trying to steal second. 2 to shortstop. And that's going to be the end of the first. Top of the first, there is no score. Lance Lynn comes to the mound, takes his warm-up tosses for St. Louis. And he will first face Kai Kyler of the Chicago Cubs. There's the pitch to Kyler. That's a second column roll. 1-2 is going to be a double for Kai Kyler. Kyler's a good hitter. He's a lifetime .321 batting average in the Hall of Fame. Here's Woody English. Here's the pitch. 21 is a fly out to center field. Kyler will remain at second base. Rogers Hornsby, 380 batting average in 1929. This Cubs team is a powerful team. 39 home runs. Here's the pitch to Hornsby. 1-1 roll. That's a drive. It might be. It could be. It is out of here, and the Cubs take an early 2-0 lead. Hack Wilson, another powerful hitter in this lineup. It's also very small. He's in stature. He was 5'6". He weighed 190 pounds. He's the one player that you can actually say he hit his weight. At 5'6", 1930, he hit 56 home runs. And 190 pounds, he drove in 190 runs, which is still a record today of RBIs. Here's the pitch to Hack Wilson, 45. Base on balls. It's not going to get easier. Rick Stevenson comes up, 362 average. 62 is a 40, and that's also runner out ceiling. So Wilson is thrown out. 2-4 this time, and there are 2 outs. .46 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. But as we go to the top of the second, it's Chicago 2, St. Louis nothing. All right, Matt Holliday steps back into the box. As we go to the bottom of the second inning, he was up the bat when Matt Adams was caught stealing. Here's a pitch. 26 is a 27. That is a X. There's an X modifier there, so Matt Holliday strikes out as Malone has the X modifier. Yadier Molina, truly the leader of the St. Louis team. Here's the pitch to Molina. 44 is a base hit. St. Louis will play it safe at first base. He has a slow running rating. And that brings up Johnny Peralta, Mr. GQ. Ground ball to shortstop. It's going to be a 6-4-3 double play in the top of the second. Go to the bottom of the second. Cubs 2, Cardinals nothing. Brings the bat Jolly Charlie Grimm, well-known banjo player on the team. 24 is a fly out the center fielder. 1 down. Catcher Zach Taylor. Taylor gets a base hit. Cubs will play it safe. He has the S designation as a runner, and that brings the bat third baseman Norman McMillan. 56 is a pop up to the shortstop as a Y modifier, so it's a strikeout. And they're 2 down to the pitcher, Pat Malone. .63 is a fly ball to right field. We go to the top of the third, Chicago 2, St. Louis nothing. We're at the bottom of the Cardinal order with second baseman Colton Wong. 35 is a 36. It's going to be ball 1. Here's the next pitch. 55 is a 8 against the B pitcher. It's going to be a fly out to center field. 1 down. Randall Grichuk. 26 is a ground out to shortstop. And now Lance Lynn. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Through 3, Pat Malone has faced a minimum. It's Cardinals 2, or Cardinals 0, Cubs 2. Kai Kyler leads off for the Chicagos. He was working in a Michigan auto assembly plant as a young man, and then the economy took a downturn, so he got laid off, went to try out for a minor league baseball team, and the rest is history. Went on to a Hall of Fame career. 41 is a 28, ground out to shortstop. So Kyler is 1 for 2 after doubling and scoring in the first. Woody English caught out the center in the first inning. 25 is a base hit for Woody English. He is a fast runner at first. Don't see any 11s in the first column. There's some in the second column. He stole 13 bases. Rogers Hornsby is the batter. He will not start the runner. Here's the pitch to Hornsby. 1-4 is a fly out to left field, 2 away. And now Hack Wilson. It was said of him that he is a low ball hitter and a high ball drinker. Oh, man. Okay, here we go. There's a pitch to Wilson. 36 is a ground out, or is a base on balls. He does not have the Z rating, so it's going to be first and second for the Cubs with 2 away. Chicago's manager was Joe McCarthy at the time, and he came in with a worm and went to Wilson. He put the worm in a glass of water, and the worm swam around for a little bit, and then McCarthy picked up the worm and put it in a glass of whiskey, which promptly killed the worm. And Joe McCarthy looked at Hack Wilson and says, "Well, do you learn anything about that?" Hack Wilson said, "Sure. If I drink whiskey, I won't get worms." Okay, here's the pitch to Stevenson. 63 is a fly ball to center field, and that's going to be the end to the third inning. We go to the top of the fourth. Chicago 2, St. Louis 0. Okay, John Jay, 303 hitter in 2014, will lead off for the Cardinals, 4th inning. There's the pitch to Jay, 1-3 is a 42. He is hit by the pitch, and he is a fast runner at first base. Brings up Matt Carpenter. John Day only stole 6 bases, does not have any 11s on his card. It's not to say we won't start the runner, though, but let's see. Cardinals will start the runner. Here's the windup in the pitch from Malone. Jay is running on the play. 1-6 is a 28. That's a ground out to the shortstop. We'll put Jay on second base with 1 down. So the Cardinals have a runner in scoring position, and Matt Adams comes to the plate, who is 1 for 1. Matt Adams will be hitting from the left side. Here's the pitch. 56 is a 29. It's going to be a let's see. It's going to be a ground out to the first baseman. Jay will be able to go to third, but there's 2 outs now. And score it 1-3. 2 outs. Matt Holliday. 54 is a fly out to right field. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Cubs 2, Cardinals 0. Okay, the Cubs are trying to even up this battle between St. Louis and Chicago. They will lead off in the inning with Charlie Grimm, who I believe became the next manager of the Cubs. And spent a lot of years managing 32 through first half of 38 of the Cubs. Then he went to the broadcast booth. Managed the Cubs to the 32 pennant, and also came back and managed them to the 45 pennant. and came back in 1960 and managed the Cubs when they had that revolving door of managers, several managers in 1960. Okay, here is leading off for St. Louis, or excuse me, leading off for Chicago, Charlie Grimm, and Lynn delivers. 35 is a walk to Charlie Grimm. Average speed at first base. Zach Taylor's the batter. Ground ball shortstop, that's going to be a 6-4-3 double play. Peralta to Wong to Adams, and 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 4th. Norm McMillan, now with the bases clear. 31 is a single. McMillan's first hit. That will bring us to the pitcher, Pat Malone, who strikes out. We go to the 5th, Chicago 2, Cardinals nothing. I have seen the Cardinals play in person a number of times, and there is no question that Yadier Molina leads that team on the field, and he is a great leader. Not to mention a great defensive player, and he can hit too. He's 1 for 1 in this game. Here's the pitch to Yadier. 53 is a 19. Filling column 1. It's going to be an error on the second baseman, Rogers Hornsby. Cardinals will play it safe at first with the S rating on Molina. Johnny Peralta. 54 is a fly out to right field. Colton Wong, who skied out to Hack Wilson in center field his first time up. 32 is a fielder's choice. Molina is out, second to shortstop. And now we have a fast runner at first, Colton Wong, with 2 away. Randall Grichuk, the batter. Here's Malone's pitch. 42 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. Go to the bottom of the 5th. Score remains Cubs 2, Cardinals nothing. Top of the Cubs order. Kai Kyler, who has 1 for 2 in today's game. 24 is a swing and a miss for strike 3. Woody English, Kyler is the 3rd strikeout for Lynn. 26 is a ground ball softly back to the pitcher. Throws over to Matt Adams. 2 away. Here is Rogers Hornsby, who started the scoring and provided the only scoring with his 2-run homer in the 1st. Here's the pitch to Hornsby. That's a fly out to center field. Go to the top of the 6th, Cubs 2, Cards 0. All right, Lance Lynn will start us off in the 6th. Here's the pitch. He walked the pitcher. Lynn is rated a slow runner, so the Cardinals will play it safe on the base pass. John Jay. That's the second column roll for John Jay. 45 is going to be a 6. Against the B pitcher, that's going to be a double over first base. The runner will go to 3rd. So right away in the 6th, Cardinals have the tying run on second base, and they are in business here with nobody out. Matt Carpenter's the batter. The Cubs will play the infield in. Here's the pitch to Matt Carpenter. 63 is a 31. fly out to shallow center field to Hack Wilson. Not deep enough to score anybody. And there is one down. Infield is still in. Matt Adams is 1 for 2. Come to the plate. Here's the pitch to Matt Adams. 63 is a fly out to right field. Or X modifier. Matt Adams swings and misses. Strike 3. So if the Cardinals are going to get anything out of this, it's going to be up to Matt Holliday. Infield is playing back. 24 is a swing and a miss. Strike 3. So what a job of pitching by Pat Malone. First two runners are in scoring position, and he's able to hold the wall here. Cardinals still trail the Cubs 0-2. Hack Wilson will lead off for Chicago. Like Hornsby, he hit 39 home runs in 1929. Okay, 52 is the roll. 27 is ground out to the third baseman. 5-3. Wilson is retired for the first out. Riggs Stevenson is the batter. 362 hitter in 1929. Ground out to third base also. And 2 down to Charlie Grimm. 55 is a fly out to center field. So 3 quick outs. We go to the top of the 7. Chicago 2, St. Louis 0. Yadi Molina is 1 for 2 in this game. Here's the pitch. 23 is a ground out to third base. Johnny Peralta, 21 homers in 2014 for the Cardinals. 1-1. There's a second column roll. Is this one going to go? Here's the pitch. Here's the reading. 1-5 is going to be a double for Johnny Peralta. Now we'll get the tying run to the plate with the man on second base and Colton Wong. 25 is a 10 against a grade B pitcher. It's going to be a ground out to third base with Peralta going to third. Randall Grichuk. They'll pitch to Grichuk. If you walk him here, they'll probably pitch up for the pitcher. Cardinals have a pretty good bullpen, so let's just pitch to Grichuk. Here's the pitch. 26 is a 24. It's going to be a ground out to shortstop. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Cubs 2, Cardinals 1, or nothing. Bottom of the order, Zach Taylor's the batter. He is 1 for 2. 20 on, it's going to be an error on Colton Wong. Norm McMillan, who is also 1 for 2. Taylor is I think a slow runner. Yes, so the Cubs will play it safe. Here's the pitch. 32 is a 26. Fielder's choice. Taylor's out at second. Wong to Peralta. And now McMillan, a fast runner, is at first. 1 down. Pitcher Pat Malone comes up. He's going to score around the bunt. 65 is a 35. Double play, runner out second, batter out first, catcher, the shortstop, second base. F batter safe at first while he's slow. So it is a 2 to 6 to 4 double play. It's the second double play the Cardinals have turned. This one kind of unusual. But we go to the top of the 8th. Chicago 2, St. Louis 0. Okay, at the top of the fifth, Pat Malone is allowed no runs and 4 hits. He'll be facing a pinch hitter for Lance Lynn. Daniel Descalzo will be pitch hitting for the Cardinals. Here's the windup and the pitch. 31 is a base on balls. Descalzo has average speed rating. He'll be the runner at first. So we go back to the top of the Cardinal order. And John Jay, who doubled his last time up. Jay represents the tying run. Here's the windup and pitch. 22 is a 7 against the Bees. It's going to be a single to right field. Descalzo will go to third. I tell you, I like that Jay. He is a good player. He is a ball player. First and third, nobody out, and getting toward the middle of the Cardinal order. But here is Matt Carpenter. And taking a look over at the Cubs bullpen, Mike Zavengros and Hal Carlson are quickly warming up for the Cubs. The Cubs will play the infield back. Here's the pitch to Matt Carpenter. 46 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. For the first out. Pat Malone had his back to the wall back in the 6th inning where the first 2 men got on second and third, and he retired them 1-2-3 and did not allow them to score. Let's see if he can do it again here. Here is Big City Matt Adams, 1 for 3 on the day. 288 hitter of 15 homers. Here's the pitch to Matt Adams. 64 is a swing and a miss, strike 3. That is the 6th strikeout, and that's a big strikeout. There are now 2 outs. And Matt Holliday. There's a pitch to Matt Holliday. 45 does not have a Z modifier. That's going to be ball 4. Bases are juiced for the Cardinals here late in the game. They're down by 2 runs. And Yadier Molina is coming up. He is 1 for 3 today. Can Yadi put a quarter in the merry-go-round and send runners toward home? Here's a 22 roll. That's a 7. Single over second. 2 runners will score. And let's see, 1 runners will be on first and second. That ties the game. Yadi Molina for the Cardinals. So John Jay scores. Daniel Descalzo scores. And timeout. The Cubs are going to switch pitchers. Chicago was calling on the services of right-hander Hal Carlson to face right-handed hitter Johnny Peralta. That gives him a 1-grade bump up because they're both right-handed for the first batter, making Carlson a grade B pitcher with 2 outs and runners on first and second. Here's the pitch. 1-4 is going to be a fly ball to left field. But the Cardinals have tied it up here in the 8th. We go to the bottom of the 8th, 2-2 tie. Now pitching for the Cardinals is Seth Manis, 2.91 ERA. He's got a grade B with a Z modifier. And in the last of the 8th, he'll be facing the top of Chicago's order. And Kai Kyler, who's 1 for 3 with a double and a run scored. Here's the pitch to Kyler. 1-3 is a base on balls. We'll see if the Cubs can come back with a quick answer. Woody English. He may bunt. Squares around. 52 is a 27. That's 2 strikes. He missed 2 tries with the bunt. And I think he's going to be stubborn about it and try to get the third pitch down. Here we go. 56 is a 34. The bunt is down, but fielded by Carpenter, who throws to Peralta at second to get the lead runner and scored a fielder's choice, 5-6. Bunt was unsuccessful. And we go to now the middle of Chicago's order. And Rogers Hornsby. Hornsby has the big hit in the game for Chicago. 2-run homer back in the first inning. .51, that's an 8 against a grade B. That's going to be ground out to third base, 5-3. It sends English to second now with 2 outs. Tying runners at second. Hornsby was a peculiar guy who wouldn't go to movies or read books because he wanted to protect his eyesight. And it worked for him. He is generally considered the best right-handed hitter of all time. 1920 to 25, he hit .397 and won the batting title all those years, 6 years in a row. Here is Heck Wilson, another very dangerous hitter, but now with 2 outs. Manis winds and pitches. 1-2 is a line drive to the shortstop, Johnny Peralta. Wilson's retired, and so are the Cubs in the 8th. Go to the top of the 9th, Chicago 2, St. Louis 2. Colton Wong is 0 for 3, leads off the 9th for the Cardinals. Ground ball to shortstop. He will be retired for the first out. Randall Grichuk out of Rosenberg, Texas. 44 is a fly ball to, no, it's going to be against a C pitcher. It's going to drop in for a base hit to left center field. Single for Randall Grichuk. That's his first hit of the day. Brings the bat to pitcher. Timeout. Okay, the Cardinals will send up Pat Neshek, the pitch hit for the pitcher, or not Neshek, he'll be the next pitcher. A.J. Pierzynski will be coming in to pinch hit for the pitcher Seth Manis. Neshek is throwing in the bullpen, getting ready to come in and pitch the 9th for the Cardinals. 1 down, 1 on. Timeout. Okay, the Cubs are going to respond and bring in their left-hander, Mike Vengross. That'll give him, he's a grade C YW pitcher, but that will give him a one letter grade bump up for the first batter. He'll be a B pitcher pitching to Pierzynski. Here's the pitch. 43 is a 29. It's going to be a ground out to first or to second. Y modifier, as Vengross has the Y. So Pierzynski swings and misses. Strike 3, and there's 2 outs for the Cardinals. And to the top of the order, and pesky little John Jay is going to be coming up the bat. He's been on base 3 out of 4 times, double, single, and run scored. Here's the pitch to John Jay. 55 is an 8 against a C pitcher, and that is going to be another base hit, and that will send Grichuk to third base. So John Jay is 3 for 4 on the day. Matt Carpenter. Cardinals fans there is some red in the stands here in Wrigley, and they're pretty excited right here. Here's the pitch to Carpenter. 51. That's a 9 with runners on first and third. Against a C pitcher, that's a ground out to third base for the third out. So as Vengross survives, holds the Cardinals to no run, and we got the bottom of the 9th. Still tied 2-2. Okay, Pat Neshek will come in. He is a grade A pitcher, XY modifier, and also a Z modifier. He will be facing, in the bottom of the 9th, Rick Stevenson, Charlie Grimm, and Zach Taylor. Here's the pitch to Rick Stevenson. 24 is a fly out to center field. Kind of feel like we're in danger of having our first extra inning game on the Apba Classics channel. Could be some free baseball coming up. Here's Charlie Grimm. 66. It's a second column roll. Hit 10 home runs. There's not a lot of power here. 22. That's a drive. It could be. It is out of here. Charlie Grimm for a walk-off home run for the Cubs. And they will win this game, tying the St. Louis-Chicago series at 1 game apiece. The final score, Cubs 3, Cardinals 2. We'll be back with the wrap-up. Well, this was another outstanding game we saw here today at Wrigley Field between the 2014 St. Louis Cardinals and the 1929 Chicago Cubs. Line score in this game, the Cardinals scored 2 runs on 8 hits, 1 error. The Cubs scored 3 runs on 4 hits and 1 error. To win this game, the winning pitcher is, and I'm not 100% sure about this, but I think it's Hal Carlson, who came in and got the first couple of outs, got the last out of the 8th, first couple in the 9th, and that would give a save to Savengros. The losing pitcher is Pat Neshek, who pitched 1/3 of an inning and gave up a walk-off home run to our star of the game today. Well, first of all, for St. Louis, Yadier Molina had a fine day, going 2 for 4, but getting the big 2-run single in the 8th inning that tied the score and gave St. Louis a chance to win this game. A little over 20 years ago, a young man was selling peanuts in the stands in St. Louis at St. Louis Cardinal baseball games. His name was Charlie Grimm as a youth. Now he's growing up to snatch a win away from the St. Louis Cardinals with the walk-off solo home run in the 9th inning. His name is Charlie Grimm, today's star of the game, first baseman Charlie Grimm. We'll be back tomorrow with another in this series with St. Louis and Chicago. They're tied 1 game apiece. And tomorrow's teams will go to St. Louis. We'll see the 2016 Chicago Cubs, world champions, take on the 1946 St. Louis Cardinals, world champions. And that promises to be another fine game. Thanks for joining us. Join us again tomorrow on the Apba Classic Baseball channel.